Central Valley today. I'm Adeline Evans. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, bullying affects 1 out of 5 teens in high school throughout the United States. It can affect you both mentally and physically. Joining us today to talk about bullying and how to prevent it is our jazzy doc, Dr. Jasmine Singh from UCSF Fresno. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me back.
We always love having you here, especially for tough subjects like this.
Yes, yes.
I mean, like you said, this affects a ton of people.
These statistics are staggering. I mean, 20% of high school students, that's no small number. That's a lot of people.
Absolutely. And if you had to define bullying, what is it?
Yeah, so bullying, as defined by the CDC, or the Center for Disease Control, is persistent aggressive behavior that someone is portraying towards someone else, and they're targeted. So teasing, for example, is not exactly bullying per se, because teasing could be a one-time situation, but bullying is persistent, it's targeted, and it's someone who is, maybe has a different social rank or perceived advantage than another person who's more vulnerable. And so that's how I would define bullying.
Well, and it's not just in person, too. I mean, cyberbullying is a big thing nowadays.
Yes, cyberbullying is a huge issue nowadays. There's so many studies coming out about it, and it's really affecting our youth. Social media and television and TV and the internet, it's such a big part of our lives, and it's meant to help communication, but also with that advantage, there's these negatives of potentially bullying, cyberbullying, and verbal abuse. Oh,
yeah, we were talking earlier. I mean, back when we were in school, you're already worrying about boys and all those things.
Grades.
To add on social media aspect of it.
Right.
I just can't imagine what these kids are going through.
It's just really difficult, and the mental health consequences of these things are just horrible. I mean, depression and anxiety are rampant. So many children of that age, between 10 and 24, are suffering from depression and anxiety, and we just have to do something about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what are we seeing with some of these consequences of bullying to people? What's happening?
So as far as the mental health consequences, it can lead to depression and anxiety, as well as self-harm and suicide. Suicide is actually a major it's a major killer in this population, second, I believe, after some other concerns. But this is such a population where mental health can be fatal for these kids. And so aside from that, the bullying can lead to negative views of self and negative views of the world that perpetuate throughout their life. So these children could grow up thinking, I'm worth so little that others can abuse me, or the world is so negative that bad things just happen, and that's how they kind of view the world. And what a horrible way to go through life, thinking that you are worth so little and affecting your self-esteem like that. It's just very complicated.
It's just awful. Completely.
It is. It's awful.
Well, for parents from this, are there any signs or anything that you may see that could kind of show you your kids maybe getting bullied?
Yeah, so if your child is isolating more, they're kind of quiet to themselves, not really interacting with you so much, feeling kind of down, maybe crying, maybe making statements like, I wish I was never born, or I wish I could run away. These are all very prominent signs of maybe an underlying mood disorder, some kind of bullying or trauma that they're going through. I would tell parents that, considering bullying is so rampant, assume your child is being bullied. Assume they could be bullied at school or even via the internet or social media. This is happening, and parents need to just be aware and involved.
Absolutely. And if your kid is, like you said, when you're assuming they're being bullied,
yes,
what are some things that they can do to help either prevent it or make it get better?
Yes. So the CDC, again, the Center for Disease Control, they have a huge initiative to prevent bullying, and it can be summed up in essentially one word, which is connectedness. So they propose that as children are more connected to their families, their communities, and their schools, it's going to help prevent bullying. So how does that happen? Well, if a parent is more connected with their child and child to parent, they can openly discuss more what's going on in their life in a calm, collected manner. And then also, if a child has more friends at school, they have a group, a support network to help them. So let's say they get targeted for some reason. their support network could maybe come to the rescue or stop the bully. Yeah. And the child can feel comforted and seen and a part of a community, both at home and at school, if they have strong social relationships. So that is very, very essential. Anything that helps promote the child's self-esteem and their ability to then kind of stand up to a bully is really important. Having academic success, feeling nurtured at home, feeling supported at school with appropriate, supervision from adults, teachers, coaches. Being connected to others helps self-esteem, it helps lower stress, and thus can prevent bullying.
It makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
you have that support system. And
Absolutely.
the times when you're low, they bring you back up.
Yes. Yes.
At what point do you think from all of that, if that hasn't worked or you still want to help your child more, what would you recommend? Would you have them go talk to someone or?
Absolutely. So if you find that your child is connected enough, you can totally have them seek mental health treatment. That means either medication or talking to a therapist. It's really important that the child's, if they have depression and anxiety, that be treated, because if it's not, it can lead to chronic depression, chronic stress, more of a likelihood in those cases to have suicide or self-harm. And we don't want that for sure. I mean, that's something we really want to prevent. So mental health treatment, it's very important for all people, but especially for this tender age. You're going through a lot at this age. You're thinking about yourself, your identity, your sexual orientation, maybe your gender orientation. There's so many thoughts, and you're developing such a view of yourself and the world that you really need to be careful that nothing harms that proper development.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for all of
You're
those
very
tips.
welcome.
Making sure all of our kids are happy throughout the school year.
Yes.
But we're not done just yet. Coming up, we'll chat more with Dr. Jasmine Singh on bullying and how to handle if your kid is the one doing the bullying.